Yo, what's up guys? Melee here. I made a quick video about Ret utility tips and tricks for the War Within Season 3 dungeons. I'm not going to be going over where and why to use Ret defensives in this video. This is just the utility that you may not be utilizing, which sometimes can make a big impact on how smooth the key goes. So we'll go in order of the dungeons on MDT, and first up we have halls. There's only a few areas in halls where Bop is going to come in handy. That is mainly on the Houndsmaster shoots, the Anklebiter bleeds, and the Eviscerators hurl glaives. If someone's being overlapped and they're getting shot, Bop is going to save them. It's good paired with things like the Stoneborn Slash or Screech. This pull right here with the Anklebiters, it applies a stacking bleed. I will typically bubble this pull right here, and I will bop the healer on this pull just to make their jobs easier. They can just focus on healing the group since this isn't a very easy pull. And then pulls like this, where you have Eviscerators hurling glaives. This also deals physical damage. Not 100% required, but it definitely makes the pulls easier if you have Bop up going into those.
Sham kick.
Not there.
Kick.
You gotta get these ankle biters.
Catch antenna. Kick.
There you go.
Someone kick.
Defensives start here.
Need help. Bud.
Stunning.
Kicked.
I connect.
Catch antenna.
Shad.
Melding threat.
Sham
Your
kick.
signaling.
Kick.
I got baited.
My kick.
Okay. Melee.
Alright, next up we have Streets. So Interrogation from the first boss cages a player, and you have to kill that cage before the boss reaches them. You can just bubble immune this off of yourself. You cannot bop somebody and immune it that way, but I will say this is something that is important. If you guys don't have enough damage and you're not going to kill the cage in time, you can bop the player that is caged, and the boss is not going to kill them when it reaches them. It deals physical damage and it one-shots them when it does reach them, but if you bop that player and the boss gets to them, it gives you more time to kill the cage and save that player. Outside of that, these Frenzied Nightclaws apply the Frantic Rip Bleed. Obviously, it doesn't deal a whole lot of damage and it doesn't stack, I believe, but it just saves some damage from going out if you have Bop up during that pull. And the Mailroom boss right here, Postmaster. So he does the Money Order, which is also something you can bubble immune and Bop immune. So you can immune twice on this boss, once on yourself and once on somebody else. Or if you get targeted twice, you can bop yourself if that works too, but it is very useful on that boss.
Interrogation.
A bubble.
Or a bunch of cheaters. Jeez.
Oh, geez, bro.
Catch
I will
antenna.
bop the first one, or I'll just bubble this on me and then I can bop the second one.
Nice. Lust has been used.
I got it.
Up.
Catch antenna.
In Gambit, we have the first boss, Purged by Fire. So this will target a random player, and then it will chase them around the room, and if you stand in the trail it leaves behind, it one-shots them. So if you get targeted by this, if you pre-bubble yourself and stand still, the Purge by Fire will just stay under your feet the whole time and it will not retarget. If you bubble after it goes out, or if you move after you pre-bubble, it will target somebody else and it will just go to them. So it's important that you pre-bubble and then just stand still until the cast is over. The only other thing in this dungeon that I could really think of is the officers in the second boss area. They have Sword Toss, which is physical damage. What I like to do here is Hammer of Justice, one of them when they're about to cast, to desync the sword tosses. And this is physical damage, so it is something that Bop is going to negate as well.
I'm not one out. Dang it.
This is just...
On left.
I'll stun this officer, I guess, on the...
Yeah.
Kick.
Hodge down is good. Nice.
Ara-Kara is probably Ret Paladin's best dungeon for their utility, in my opinion. They have Cleanse Toxins, which is a poison dispel, and Righteous Protection, which is a extra poison dispel. And with Righteous Protection, when you sack somebody, it makes them immune to all poisons for 12 seconds as long as sack is active on that player. The crawlers in Ara-Kara, let's just look at them real quick. Venomous Spit now stacks this season. So it's more valuable to dispel multiple stacks of this poison, but if somebody is low health and they still have just one stack, I will still dispel them so they don't take any more damage if they are in danger. Reinforced drones here. This is very important and it helps the tank a lot. They place Tainted Blood. It is a stacking debuff on the tank that slows and reduces healing on them. Freedom removes the debuff, and it makes the tank immune while they have Freedom. So typically right here, I will Freedom the tank on cooldown, so they are not in very much danger. The Winged Carriers do Dashing Strike, so those will one-shot people if they don't pop a defensive, and they get multiples of that. Bop will negate the carrier's leaping damage. So if someone doesn't have a defensive or if the healer is trying to focus, I'll typically bop them when those are getting pulled in, and I will pop a defensive myself. Paladins are tanky when it comes to physical damage, so we're not in too much danger there. We could just pop a small personal and bop somebody else that is more squishy to physical damage. It makes pulling these carriers a lot safer. And then you have the last boss poison cleanse. Cultivated Poisons. You can dispel one poison every time they come out, and every 1 minute you can sack somebody and dispel 2 poisons when you have sack and your cleanse up at the same time.
Catch antenna.
Potential what? Them
Kick.
getting web wrapped?
Yeah. I was like, why is this guy a mummy?
Bosses are a great time to catch up on overall DPS.
For melee.
Yeah, dude. Well, actually, no, there's like... In Dawnbreaker, I can give one big tip and one small tip for Ret utility. The Nightfall Shadow Mages on these big dangerous pulls, they will Ensnaring Shadows random players, which is a curse that does a lot of damage, something that the healer has to worry about if they don't have a Ret Paladin. It can be freedomed, so the freedom actually removes the curse because the curse is a snare. It lets the healers save globals and their dispel. So this is really good. And there's a couple of pulls that you have Shadow Mages on. You have it on this first pull, you have it on this boat, you have it on this dangerous pull in front of the church. So all of those pulls, it is very good to freedom off that Ensnaring Shadows curse. This is a very, very minor thing that's not going to happen all the time, but it has happened specifically right here on this pull. This commander applies a bleed to the tank. A lot of the time when we're killing this pull and we're going right into the boss, your tank wants to save all of their defensives here. If they end up getting a bleed right at the end when this pull is dying, you can just bop that bleed off for them so that they can save all of their defensives going into the boss, right? It's happened before where you want to kill it before it goes out. It's not going to happen every single time, but if it does, it is just a slight thing to consider. You can just bop any type of bleed off and save your tank's defensives, which could just let you kill the boss and save the key if they end up dying here. Do not bop the tank, though, if the mobs are still healthy. As soon as you bop the tank, he is going to lose threat on everything, and everyone is going to die because these are just going to snap to somebody else. The only time you ever bop the tank is if he gets a bleed like that and the pull is right about to die. So you bop him, the pull's dead, and you don't have to worry about threat issues.
Okay, let's do some stops. I have shock. Let's do sleep. And then Shad and Sham kick.
I fucked you, Shamrock.
Good.
I dropped darkness.
Kick.
Second kicks.
No!
Catch antenna.
Damn it.
That's a feels bad for sure. Oh, nice.
Easy.
Paladin
Problem
utility.
solved. Telling you guys.
You can
Catch
freedom that
antenna.
shit off?
I've been doing it this entire key, bro.
Oh, I thought it was Yuishi.
Nah. That's
Wait, what?
And next up, we have Priory of the Sacred Flame. There are a lot of dangerous overlaps in here that Bop can help with. Specifically right here in this first area. So with Bop being a 5-minute cooldown, you're only going to get to use it once on pull 1, 2, or 3. And depending on the overlap and if someone's going to die, that's when you're going to want to use it. So in the first pull here, the examples of overlaps would be the Impale from the Knight, the Disrupting Shout from the Knight, and the Thunderclap. Also, if you're pulling in sharpshooters in this pull at all, the shoots can overlap with some of those as well. It's just a lot of damage going out. Bop is going to get rid of the Impale bleed from the Knight. Right here. The Disrupting Shout is also physical damage, so it negates all of that. And this Thunderclap, if you pre-Freedom before Thunderclap goes out, it will negate all the damage from Thunderclap. So Freedom and Bop are very useful on that first pull. The second pull, some people will pull these Lynxes in and the Sharpshooters. That's just something else that Bop can negate the damage from. And this third pull, same exact thing. You have a Knight, you have Sharpshooters. If someone's taking a lot of damage, if they have the Impale bleed, if they have a War Lynx bleed from the Pounces, Bop is going to more than likely save them if they are getting trucked. Outside of these first few pulls right there, the last boss here will go up the stairs for the intermission and cast Barrier of Light. So if you don't break the barrier in time and you don't have any CCs for these neophytes, you're at risk of them going all the way up the stairs and hitting you and doing a ton of damage. Right here, I'll typically just bubble to keep myself safe, and you can use Bop on someone to keep them safe from the melees as well. That way you guys can just kill the neophytes without having to worry about taking a ton of damage.
Tenna. Kick.
I go next.
Shout.
Catch antenna.
Last but not least, we have Floodgate. So Floodgate has a lot of loader bots. They do wind-ups. That is physical damage. Bop is going to negate all the damage from those wind-ups. So if you want to, you can just bubble, you could just bop and stand in the wind-ups and not worry about taking damage. These architects right here, they will cast Nail Gun. So Freedom will remove your Nail Gun, but it doesn't remove the bleed. So even if you free yourself here, you're still going to take a lot of bleeding damage. You can bop this Nail Gun bleed off, and it is also good because if you pull loader bots here, you can just bop, not worry about the bleed from the architect, and not worry about getting wind-upped to death. This is also important. These divers right here cast Harpoon. It is interruptible, and if you interrupt all these, you shouldn't have to worry about it. But this is also a bleed that deals physical damage. So if you see Harpoon on somebody that you guys can't kick or stop, you can pre-bop them so they won't take any damage, or you can bop them after the Harpoon goes off just to remove the bleed and make sure that they don't die. I have done that a couple of times, and it is very nice when you save somebody from Harpoons, especially if you guys pull divers onto boss. If Harpoon goes off on the boss, Bop is very good there. Bop will also negate Shredation Saw Blade damage. Not that this is really like important, because these are very easy to avoid. If these go out, you just step away from them, but it is physical damage, so Bop will negate that damage as well. The Demolition Duo boss. Quick Shot deals a ton of damage. It is physical. So Bop or Sack is going to save someone from being killed by overlapping Quick Shot and the Kinetic Explosive Gel. Anytime somebody needs to get dispelled, they take a ton of damage. If you see them get targeted by a Quick Shot right after that, you bop them or you sack them, and they won't die. Ideally. Also, this is minor, it doesn't happen too often, but these snipers sometimes will target somebody with a triple snipe, which is a lot of damage, and Bop will save them from getting triple sniped to death as well.
Yep. No, they...
Stunning. No.
Kick.
I don't have a defensive spell. What? Damage.
Move left. Okay, skull is marked. Shem.
Dithering it. Nice pop.
Keep in mind, guys, if you are running the Unbound Freedom talent, everything I talked about with Freedom negating some of these poisons and some of these movement abilities and curses, if you should be using this on your party members, and it will also apply Freedom to yourself as well. So if they get a snare, or if they get a poison, or if they get a curse that you can Freedom off of them, it also makes you immune to the exact same thing for the duration that Freedom is on you. So it is very good because you can utilize this on not only yourself, but other players and yourself at the same time. Alright guys, so aside from all the utility I mentioned, you can throw Blessing of Sacrifice wherever you see fit in any of these dungeons. Whether it's a one-shot mechanic on someone or an overlap they might not survive, maybe their health is low and they're about to get targeted by a bolt or a shoot, or maybe they're just being targeted by 3 bolts. Sack is very useful in these situations. If your tank is running low on defensives, or if he has no defensives up at all and he's just getting trucked, Sack is always a good idea right there. And if you guys don't have the targeted spells weak aura, I highly suggest you grab it so you can see when you and your party are being targeted by spells and abilities. I'll place a link for the weak aura in the description below. Holy shit! Oh, did you guys see that sack? Whew, that was crazy. See, if I didn't sack him there, that would have been GG's, guys. No B-res. That's what Ret Paladin brings. Good util. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video really helped some of you, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.